check.
Humans have gone too far with the effects on the earth. One of the most problematic issues nowadays we have to face is the pollution, which is most of the times man-made. In this video, our group will discuss about how the water is polluted. In what ways can it affect us? The situation in Vietnam in particular, and in the world in general. Last but not least, we will point out the solutions for this issue. First, we need to understand what is water pollution. The World Health Organization, who defined polluted water as water whose composition has been changed to the extent that it is unusable. In other words, it is the water that cannot be used for any purposes, and it also causes diseases such as cholera, typhoid, diarrhea, and also go on. Now, what is happening when the water is polluted in the world and in Vietnam? Unsafe water kills billions of people all over the world, more than the wars and other forms of violence combined. Many people know that water is crucial for daily life, but they just it anyway. If these problems still continue, in the future there will not be enough fresh water for humans or any activities. In Vietnam, this situation is not better though. In the industrial zone at Ho Chi Minh City, it is estimated that about 500,000 cubic meters sewage water per day is released by making paper, washing powder, dyeing, and connecting companies. According to a survey in Bắc Ninh, there is a large amount of untreated sewage that make water in this area polluted. First of all, we will talk about the industrial waste. Industry produces a tremendous amount of waste, which contains toxic chemicals and pollutants, causing air pollution and damage to our environment and earth. They contain harmful chemicals including lead, mercury, sulfur, nitrates, asbestos, and many others. Many industries not having a proper waste management system drain the waste in the fresh water, which goes into the canals, rivers, and later into the sea. The toxic chemicals may change the color of the water, increase the number of minerals, called eutrophication, change the temperature of the water, and pose a serious hazard to the water organism. Besides, in Vietnam, the sewage and wastewater that is produced in each household are treated chemically and released into the sea along with the fresh water. The sewage water carries pathogens, a typical water pollutant, other harmful bacteria and chemicals that can cause serious health problems and thereby diseases. Microorganisms in water are known to cause some of the very deadly diseases and become the breeding grounds for creatures that act as carriers. These carriers inflict these diseases onto an individual via various forms of contact. A typical example would be malaria. After that, one of the interpretations predominant is the accidental oil leakage. Oil spill poses a huge threat to marine life. When a large amount of oil spills into the sea and does not dissolve in water, it causes problems for local marine wildlife, including fish, birds, and sea otters. A ship carrying a large quantity of oil may spill oil if met with an accident. Such an oil spill can cause varying damage to species in the ocean, depending on the amount of oil spill, the toxicity of pollutants, and the size of the ocean. It is also hard to clean up and take a lot of time. For example, the PP's Deepwater Horizon oil spill in 2010, one of the biggest oil spills in history, began in the Gulf of Mexico on April 20, 2010, after a surge of natural gas blasted through a cement well cap that had recently been installed well cap drilled by the Deepwater Horizon oil platform. The gas traveled up the risers from the platform, where it ignited, killing 11 and injuring 17 workers. The oil platform capsized and sank 2 days later. Furthermore, chemicals in fertilizers and pesticides can adulterate water that is used for daily activities. Chemical fertilizers and pesticides are used by farmers to protect crops from insects and bacteria. They are useful for the plant growth. However, when these chemicals are mixed up with the water, they produce harmful pollutants for plants and animals. Also, when it rains, the chemical mixes up with the rainwater and flow down into rivers and canals, which pose serious damages for the aquatic animals. Urban development is also another fundamental cause of water pollution. As the population has grown exponentially, so has the demand for housing, food, and clothes. As more cities and towns are developed, they have resulted in increasing use of fertilizers to produce more food, soil erosion due to deforestation, rise in construction activities, inadequate sewer collection and treatment, landfills as more garbage is produced, increasing in chemicals from industries to produce more materials. According to the United Nations, there are billions of people around the world who have no access to clean water in their daily lives. Therefore, they have no option but to drink water contaminated by pollution, exposing themselves to diseases such as cholera and dysentery. Contaminated drinking water is estimated to cause 485,000 deaths relating to diarrhea disease each year. Contaminants in the food chain and the dead animals. The use of contaminated water in farming, agriculture, or for livestock can introduce toxins to food and vegetables that people consume every day. There has been a significant number of animals which died and nearly went extinct because of the contaminants in water. As a result, our food supplies have been severely depleted.
Do you know only around 1% of Earth's water is fresh water? Yes, the rest is salty and we can't drink it. Also, between 5 and 10 million people die each year from water pollution-related illnesses. So, here is our preventions. First of all, it is about the industrial treatment. You know, the raw sewage needs to be inadequately treated in the water treatment plant before it is released into the environment. Water is passed through several chambers and chemical processes in water treatment plant to reduce the amount and toxicity of waste. After that is about denitrification. When nitrates present in the water get converted into gas, it is known as denitrification. It is an ecological approach that prevents leaching of nitrates in the soil. It stops groundwater from getting contaminated.
In conclusion, water pollution is one of the serious issues we have to face nowadays, and it mainly caused by humans. We have found out the causes which revolt to human beings such as industrial waste, sewage and wastewater, oil spill, chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Also, the solutions that we can do to remain the clean water and make it less polluted like not overusing chemical pesticide and fertilizers, not throwing waste chemicals, oils, medicines in the sink drain, stop producing plastic bags, straws, spoons, and replacing them with biodegradable or compostable materials such as bamboo, rice powder, paper. The last but not least is spreading information to everyone and encouraging them to have, which can have a lot to remain the clean water and make it less polluted. To end, we have a message. Be respect what belongs to nature, you will receive good results.